A very pleasant morning, children. Today we are going to do some revision in short answers from 9th standard atmosphere lesson. Now we are going to discuss about the short answers from this lesson. Define atmosphere. What is mean by atmosphere? So this is the question what we have to write a very detailed answer. Yes. What is mean by atmosphere? Yes. The blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. It is held close to the earth by gravitational attraction. Atmosphere is a mixture of gases, water vapor, and dust particles in different proportions. Yes, the earth is surrounded by the blanket. Blanket means what? Like a bedspread of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. It is closely held to the earth by the gravitational attraction. So the atmosphere, what we are inhaling the fresh air is consumed of mixture of gases like water vapor, dust particles in different proportions. Second question. Name the different atmospheric layers. The answer is the five atmospheric layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So when you are writing the answer, you have to write one by one so that it will give a good neat presentation and you will definitely secure 2 marks in this answer. So what are the five layers, children? Yes, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Mention the factors that affect the climate. There are many factors that influence weather and climate. They are distance from the equator, altitude, nearness to the sea, nature of the prevailing winds, mountain barrier, cloud cover, ocean currents, and natural vegetation. Yes, now let us discuss what is the meaning of this, how it is responsible for the changes in the day-to-day condition of weather, and finally it results in the climate. Distance from the equator. Yes, India is located in the tropical zone, so that's why it is very close to the equator. We are experiencing hottest climate throughout the year except some seasons. Altitude. Altitude is nothing but the height of a place. The place where it is located, whether it is located in the plain region or in the higher altitude, mountain region. Nearness to the sea. For example, we are located in Chennai and it is very close to the sea. During the summer season, we will be having the very hot climate in the daytime, and in the evening we will be having some chillness because of the moderate climate of the sea. Mountain barrier. Mountain barrier is nothing but when the mountain is very steep slope. செங்குத்தான பாறையா இருந்ததுன்னா, mountain is steep slope, it will does not allow the clouds to move to the opposite side of the mountain, the next side of the mountain. So it will get all the heavy rain in the windward side, and it allows the clouds after a long period of time, and it does not give heavy rainfall on the leeward side, on the opposite side. So mountain barrier is playing a very important role. For example, in India, we are having the Himalayas as a natural mountain barrier. It will protect us from the enemies, and also in nature it is protecting us to avoid from the cold winds from the polar region, as well as it prevents the southwest monsoon not to move to China. Cloud cover. Cloud cover means the chillness. When the cloud cover is in the atmosphere, the temperature in that particular area will be very less. So when the sun rays, UV rays penetrating towards the cloud, it will be scattered and it does not allow the 100% sun rays into the earth surface. So the cloud cover is playing a very important role in the particular place to predict the weather condition. Ocean currents. Ocean currents is nothing but when the air and when the cold and the warm winds meet each other. So this will be happening when the warm current from the equator, from the hot tropical zone, when the wind is moving from tropical to polar region and the wind is moving from polar to tropical region, it will be meeting in some place. So that place is called as the ocean currents. In that place, the fishing will be a very favorable condition and it provides more job opportunities. Natural vegetation. Natural vegetation is nothing but the small grass to the higher trees. Height of the trees may be exceed to 60 meters. So the natural vegetation plays a very important role in making the place very chillness. That's why we are always insisting the children to plant more trees to make our earth more chillness. Understood, children? What are the factors? Yes, everybody is chorously saying very good, children. Distance from the equator, altitude, nearness to the sea, nature of the prevailing winds, mountain barrier, cloud cover, ocean currents and natural vegetation. Write short note on normal lapse rate. What is mean by normal lapse rate? When we are moving to some extent, the temperature will be started decreasing. So that is called as normal lapse rate. Now we'll see in the answer. Altitude refers to the height above mean sea level. The temperature decreases at the rate of 6.5 degrees C kilometer per kilometer of height. This is called normal lapse rate. So places at the higher altitude have a lower temperature. Yes, when we are moving at the rate of 6.5 degrees C per kilometer of height, the temperature will be decreasing. So this is called as normal lapse rate. That's why when we are moving during our summer season, when we are moving to the hill resorts, there the temperature is very lower level. So that's why in summer season everybody is willing to go to hill resorts. What are the processes responsible for heating the atmosphere? Some of the processes that are responsible for atmospheric heat are radiation, conduction, convection and advection. Mention the planetary wind system of the Earth. The wind which constantly blow in the same direction throughout the year are called the planetary winds. They are also called as permanent winds or the prevailing winds. Yes. What is meant by planetary winds, children? Yes, the wind which is blowing on the planet Earth is called as planetary winds. It is the permanent wind or the prevailing wind because it will be blowing in the same direction throughout the year. Seventh question is write short note on trade winds and roaring forties. First, we will see about the trade winds. Trade winds blow from the subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt in both the hemispheres. They blow with great regularity, force and in a constant direction throughout the year. These winds were very helpful to traders who depended on the winds while sailing in the seas. and so they are named as trade winds. Yes, trade means the wind which is useful for the traders. So that's why it has given the name as trade winds. Yes, what is meant by subtropical high pressure? The tropical region is divided into two. The area between equator to the tropical zone, tropical to temperate zone. So it will be divided into two divisions. So in near the equator it is called as tropical, and in the end of the tropical it is called as subtropical. So that subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt. Equator, the area which is in the equator is called as equatorial low pressure belt in both the hemispheres. You know very well the earth is divided into two hemispheres, northern and southern hemisphere. So it is prevailing in both the hemispheres, subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt. They blow with great regularity, force and in constant direction throughout the year. Yes, it is very regular and it is having some force and a constant direction in the same direction throughout the year. These winds are very useful for the traders who dependent on the winds while sailing. Nowadays only we are using the new technology aeroplane to move from one place to another place very easily without any difficulties. But in those days, earlier days, only ship was played a very important role to move from one country to another country. So the traders will be depending upon the wind only to sail the ship, and so they named as trade winds. The second one is roaring 40s. Roaring means what? The lion will be roar. So like that, what is happening in this earth? Westerlies are the permanent winds that blow from the tropical high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt in both the hemispheres. The velocity of westerlies becomes so vigorous and fast to be called roaring 40s at 40 degree. Yes, westerlies is one of the wind which is prevailing in the planetary wind system. So it is also the permanent wind in this place. Which place? From the tropical high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt. The tropical high pressure means where India is located. So tropical zone, and here the high pressure belt, and the polar region again is divided into two divisions, the upper and the lower level. So the lower level is called as subpolar low pressure belt in both the hemispheres. So the velocity of westerlies is nothing but the name of the wind. So it will be so vigorous, you can't stand in that wind. So that is called as vigorous and fast. It will be doing anything when you are standing in front of that. So to be called roaring 40s at 40 degree. Yes, earth is having the imaginary line equator 0 degree, and near the polar region it will be ending in 90 degree. So in both the hemisphere, northern hemisphere up to 90 degree and in the southern hemisphere up to 90 degree. So totally 180 degree is having. So in that 40th degree, that means after the end of the India, 37 degrees, the end of the India, next is the temperate zone. So in that line where the 40th degree is starting, in that place this westerlies wind will be very vigorous and fast, and it will be moving like a roaring lion. So that's why it has given the name as roaring 40s at 40th degree. How are clouds formed? A visible mass of condensed water vapor floating in the air above the ground level is called a cloud. Yes, how the cloud is formed, children? When the water body is through the sun rays, due to the sun rays, the water will be heated up and you will be seeing the water vapor, and when it is going above the ground level and it will be forming as a cloud in the atmosphere. After a long time, after the process is over, it will be returning as a rain. So without the cloud also there will be a heavy rain, but the clouds always formed because of the water vapor floating in the air above the ground level. The next question is, what are the different types of rainfall? Rainfall is the most predominant type of precipitation. There are three types of rainfall: convectional rainfall, frontal or cyclonic rainfall, orographic rainfall. Yes, rainfall. The precipitation is the geographical name of rainfall. So it is divided into three types. Convectional. What is mean by that? The natural process. After the evaporation, the clouds will be forming, and finally daily in the evening it will be raining. So that is called as convectional rainfall, normal process. Frontal or cyclonic rainfall, you know very well. Due to the low pressure and high pressure, the cyclones are formed and it gives a heavy rain. And orographic rainfall, it is nothing but the like a mountain barrier. Orographic means the mountain which is preventing the clouds not to move to the other side. So in the windward side, it will be giving heavy rain, and in the opposite side, it does not give heavy rain, just very less rainfall only. So that is called as orographic rainfall. மழையை clouds வந்து மழை வந்து தடுத்து clouds வந்து அந்த இடத்திலேயே மழையை கொடுக்கிற மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு மீதி மிச்சமா இருக்கிறத தான் வந்து பின்னாடி மலையோட பின்னாடி பக்கத்துக்கு அனுப்பும். So அதனால it is called as orographic rainfall. For example, Himalayas. South India, இந்த Himalayasக்கு முன்னாடி India, Himalayasக்கு பின்னாடி China. So the southwest monsoon is prevented by the Himalayas. So it gives heavy pour of rainfall in India, in North India, near the Himalayas, and it does not move to China in the backside of Himalayas. So that is called as orographic rainfall. What is precipitation? What are the different forms of precipitation? Falling down of condensed water vapor in different forms is called precipitation. The main forms of precipitation include drizzle, rain, sleet, snow, hail, etc. So we know very well only the one type of precipitation, that is rainfall. But we are experiencing different types of rainfall, but it has given a different name according to the water vapor developed in the atmosphere. What are they, children? What are the different types? Drizzle, rain, sleet, snow, hail, etc. Write short notes on drizzle, rain, sleet, snow, heat, etc. Yes, so each carries 2 marks. So it is given in a same question as a short note. So when you are writing each and everything, each carries 2 marks. Drizzle. Drizzle means what? பனி தூறல் மாதிரி அப்படியே அழகா நம்ம நனைஞ்சிட்டே போறதுக்கு ரொம்ப ஆசைப்படுவோம். That is called as drizzling. Falling of numerous uniform minute droplets of water with diameter of less than 0.5 mm is called drizzle from low clouds. Sometimes drizzles are combined with fog and hence reduce visibility. Yes, drizzling is nothing but பனி தூறல், பூந்தூறல் மாதிரி ஷவர்ல வந்து நம்மளுக்கு எப்படி மெலிசா நம்ம திருப்பி வச்சோம்னா எவ்வளவு சாஃப்டா நம்ம மேல விழுமோ, நம்ம எவ்வளவு அழகா ரசிப்போமோ, அதுதான் வந்து drizzle. நம்மளே சொல்லுவோம் இன்னைக்கு மழை ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இல்ல, drizzling-ஆ இருந்தது அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். So that is called as drizzle. So it is the droplet of each and every rain of drizzle will be 0.5 mm only. So it forms in the low clouds. Sometimes drizzle are combined with fog. Fog means what? We cannot see who is coming in front of us. So to some extent we can't see anything at all. So it will be like a fog. அப்படியே பனி மூட்டமா இருக்கிறது. பனி மூட்டமா இருக்கும்போது நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு டிஸ்டன்ஸ்க்கு மேல யாரு இருக்காங்க, வண்டி வருதா என்னன்னு நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியான சூழ்நிலை எப்போ உருவாகும்? நம்மளுடைய டிசம்பர்ல வின்டர் சீசன் வித் ஹெவி வின்டர் சீசன் this is formed. So by seeing this fog only, in the airport authority the aeroplane will be started. So especially in Delhi the fog and the mist is very high, so because of that the aeroplanes are delayed. Next is rain. Rain is the most widespread and important form of precipitation in places having temperature above the freezing point. It occurs only when there is abundant moisture in the air. The diameter of raindrop is more than 5 mm. So here the raindrops is calculated with a diameter of 5 mm. So it is formed when there is a more moisture. Moisture means what? Eerapadam. So whenever there is a more moisture, it will be evaporated due to the sun's heat and it forming as a cloud, and now we are experiencing the heavy rain in this season. So that is called as rain. Sleet. It is a continuity of the previous question. So sleet refers to a precipitation in the form of pellets made up of transparent and translucent ice. This precipitation is a mixture of snow and rain. So you know the meaning of snow and meaning of rain. So when these both are moving from the atmosphere, it is called as sleet. Snow. Snow is formed when condensation occurs below freezing point. ஒரேற அளவுக்கு நம்ம நின்னோம்னா நம்ம அப்படியே உறைஞ்சு போயிடுவோம், நம்மளால அசையவே முடியாது. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு இதுதான் freezing point ன்னு சொல்லுவோம், மைனஸ் டிகிரியில இருக்கிறது. It is a precipitation of opaque and semi-opaque ice crystals. When these ice crystals collide and stick together, it becomes snowflakes. So when the water is moving in the freezing point, it is turning into a snow. 12th question. How are cyclones classified? Cyclones can be classified into 3 types: tropical cyclones, temperate cyclones, and extratropical cyclones. Tropical cyclones means the area which is located in the tropical zone. India is located in the tropical zone, so it will be having the cyclone during the rainy season, especially October, November and December. Temperate cyclones. Temperate cyclones means above the tropical zone, temperate zone is located. So temperate zone means America, Europe and Asian continent. China, everything will comes under this temperate cyclones, temperate zone. So when there is a cyclone occurring in these zones, it is called as temperate cyclones. Extratropical cyclones. That means it will be blowing between 30 degree and 60 degree. So the cyclones will be happening only in 30 degree and 60 degree, in this ratio only in both the hemispheres. So that is called as extratropical cyclones. To understand very easily, you could have seen tornadoes in TV or in geographical channel. So the tornadoes is one of the example for extratropical cyclones. Yes children, now so far we have revised the short answers which is present in this atmosphere lesson. Now you have understood the meaning and everything, and you could understand and you can present the paper very neatly. I hope you will be getting a very good marks in the upcoming test. Thank you children.